Hello everyone, welcome to our Let's Play series of Dragon Age Origins. This is Colonel RPG as usual, and I'm very happy that you're chose to join me today as we go back to camp and see what Liliana has to say to us. She came to a very life-changing decision last episode, and just a very life-changing conclusion of her devotion to the Maker. I didn't comment on it too much, but she realized the Maker. She realized she tells herself that the Maker is looking out for her because she had nobody else looking out for her, which is an interesting thing. There's a lot of it's complicated. It's complicated. First off, it's complicated because just from me in a personal thing, I am it's a little bit banal that the biggest challenge to the Maker is whether or not it is true that the Maker exists. Not only is that, of course it's false, it's a fiction, shut up. So it's just detached, just sort of, that is the biggest challenge because of the world we humans, like, we live in, and the way religions are actually challenged. Well, I say that's not... Because of how Europe and the in the America and Africa as well, not for the most part maybe, but for a large part as well, where the biggest challenge to religion is whether or not it is true, whatever religion it may be. So seeing that projected in video games is just all sort of uninspiring, to be honest, in my opinion. Not uninspired, well, certainly uninspired, but that's not really the problem. Uninspiring, which is, whatever. But, so I like it when the challenge is more, like, in Dungeons and Dragons, where people don't go around asking if Helm is real, or if Baal is real, or whatever. They go around saying, your god sucks, I'm gonna kill you for it. Or maybe something less drastic than that, but depends on the situation. It's Dungeons and Dragons. Usually it's that. Usually it's something very drastic. But that's more inspiring because that deals more with our own choices as people, as followers of gods, and our own morals and all that. That's just more enticing. Her realization is interesting though on another level, and I'll get to that. But just immediately, it's doubly problematic that the challenge to the Maker is whether it's real or not, because of how many things are justified by the belief of the Maker, and that happens in real life too as well. There are religions in the world that are actually challenged, less so in a matter of whether it's true or not. But more so in the systemic sort of influence that religions have, and that happens two different religions in different parts of the world. So it doesn't really matter if you're a Christian or not, and you still are capable, for example, or a Muslim. It depends on the part of the world, really, but you're still capable of understanding the systemic impact that those religions have. And you're capable of being critical or not critical, depending on where you live and what things happen with those religions, but still capable of understanding the impact that those religions have. Like, thinking of medieval times, you can look at the missionary work of Christianity, and I use Christianity, we could use others, but anyway, it's good to use Christianity here because we're talking about the Chantry, so it's all very inspired. You can look at the missionary work of Christianity and see the impact it has, and talk about it from a less than, oh, it's all a lie or it's all true. So talk about it less from a religious perspective, but more from a political and from a sociological perspective. And that is not done. That is not done to the Chantry, and that is, I think that's bad, just from a personal moral standpoint, because the Chantry has a lot to answer for. Not that it's all wrong or all bad in my opinion, but there's things there that they do with the justification of the gods. But yeah, Liliana, 5 minutes of rant. My God, I'm terrible. Liliana came to the realization that she might not actually believe in her God as much as she thought she did. And that's what takes me to my second point of my rant. I'm not gonna rant about it too much. I can't really, it's not rant, it's ramble. But what I mean is, I can't really go on about it for too long because it's complicated. And one thing I can tell you is my perspective of somebody that I talked to, somebody, it's a family member, about their beliefs, specifically in the Christian God, and they're super strong people and very, like, religion has a very big impact in the lives of people, spirituality in general, but religion in particular as a dogmatic system has a very big impact in the lives of people, whether they rely on it to survive even, let alone normal things like going on and not being depressed all the time, or whether they don't. Maybe they don't, but it still has a huge impact on people because it's a big thing. It's a big thing. And this person that I talked to this one time, like honestly and heart to heart, they're very religious. They live their life for their religion, if not necessarily for their sect, but for their religion certainly. And they told me that they were afraid, and they were afraid that they were wrong, that God didn't exist and he wasn't there, and they were afraid of being alone, and to have that honesty, not just to myself, not just to me as another person, but to themselves, specifically that honesty to themselves, and still be religious and honest in other things, is, I think, something that takes true belief in, I think, true faith. I think that's what belief is. Faith is a complicated word, specifically if you look at its origins, because it means certainty, not just belief. But then again, certainty is belief. It's complicated. The point is, just because you question your reasons for believing, it doesn't mean you don't believe. On a realistic perspective, on a just factual perspective. And Liliana, I think she questioned her perspective, or she questioned her belief, and I think she doesn't. I think she realizes she doesn't believe in the Maker. So we're going to talk to her, and hopefully she'll have something to talk about. If not, that's the end of Liliana's questline, and we're reloading from before, because that's what happened in the last episode. Let's have a chat with her.
Do you remember our discussion?
Yes, of course.
I just wanted to tell you that I thought about what you told me, and you were right. Despite what Marjolaine says, I am not like her. I know that now. I've found peace in knowing the Maker, and nothing will change that. I followed you to make the world a better place, and as long as I keep that in mind, I will not fall. Sometimes, it takes another to show us the truths we hide from ourselves.
It was my pleasure.
I'm glad I left Lothering in your company. You have proven a true friend, and I thank the Maker for you. It has been some time since I left Lothering. When I stepped out of the cloister, I had no idea where my path would lead. I walked where the Maker led me, and he has rewarded me for my faith. I found you.
I'm glad your path led you here, too.
You don't know how it makes me feel to hear you say that. But now it's getting late. I think I might turn in early. I can't help thinking about how soft and warm my bedroll is.
Want some company?
You're welcome to join me, of course. The Maker says we must share our blessings.
Are you sure this is what you want?
Oh, don't second guess me. It's not becoming. Come here. And no arguing this time.
It's not becoming. Oh no, it's the same scene. It's the same scene as before. I think. the same music as well. Yep, I'm pretty sure it's the same scene. My god, my face is absolutely horrible. Sorry. I do have a braid, which means I'm the best. She does too.
Hello.
You look smug. What's going on?
I was watching you sleep. Did you know your eyelids flutter when you dream? And you have such pretty eyelashes.
I was just, it's not just my lashes that are pretty.
So I hear. I'm so happy, blissful. I haven't slept so well since I was forced to flee from Orlais. Knowing you will be the first thing I see when I wake gives me no small amount of comfort. I feel safe in your arms. Safe, loved and accepted. This is where I belong. Thank you.
This does feel right and natural, which is a weird word to use in any circumstance, but in this one.
I suppose I should get up. We have a long day ahead of us.
What's the hurry?
Come on. Darkspawn await with bated breath for you to put them out of their misery.
Oh, right. Blasted Darkspawn.
I think it will be a beautiful day.
It is not, Liliana. I'm reloading. Wine, Woman, and Song. What kind of name for an achievement is that? Oh my god. That's it's interesting. The commentary about the first thing she sees when she wakes up. There's so many things that are just taken out of like what normal sort of what you'd expect, not normal I guess, but what you'd expect from normal modern day, this is the word that I want to say, modern day cultures. Just be like, yep, now we live together and we sleep in the same bed. That's how it is. That's just how it is. And when in reality things wouldn't be that way. Certainly not in a medieval setting. But just, we camp out in the... Are we banging all nights? Are we really doing it? Like, they can hear us. I mean, they could see us even. Where did we do it? I don't... It's anyway.
Well, aren't you sweet and attentive?
Let's go to bed. That's literally... we need to talk.
Of course.
Are you feeling better about what happened with Madeleine?
Yes, a little better. Time heals all wounds, so they say. Scars remain, but they are just colors in the painting that is my life, no?
Well, I just wanted to make sure you were all right.
I wish things had happened differently, but knowing her and knowing me, I don't think it could have. We had good times, though, and I look back on those fondly. Whatever happened after will never change the truth of the past.
Well, that's one way of looking at it. She was special to you, wasn't she?
Yes, once, a long time ago. She was a worldly woman and there was so much she knew and was willing to share with me. I would have done anything for her once.
She didn't deserve you.
She used to be different. Happier, I think. She loved music and had a weakness for sugary cakes. Maybe she was always lying about who she was. Or maybe she changed over the years.
You miss her?
I do. And I probably always will. I will just move on. And I think I have. You are how she used to be years ago. A joy to be around, a constant companion and a listening ear in times of need.
I'm not Madeleine, don't worry.
Yes, I know that. I don't think you would ever do what she did to me. I have never regretted leaving Orlais. I do not regret any of the pain, the anger, the loneliness, because it brought me to you. And I love you. It's so wonderful to say that to someone again. But people are starting to look at me strangely. We will speak of this again, I promise.
No, they know exactly what's going on here. They are not. They've looked at us a lot strangelier.
Well, aren't you sweet and attentive?
Need to talk?
Of course.
I've heard rumors, or some rumors, about our Legion spies. I think this unlocked because we brought her her relationship to us higher, not because of what we unlocked.
There are many rumors about spies, or Legion or otherwise. What are you referring to exactly?
They say you do almost anything to achieve your goals.
I admit I have done many despicable things in my lifetime. I do what I have to do. So do you. So does everybody. Sometimes
No.
we must do terrible things to get what we want.
That's...
If it is any consolation, I always try to use non-violent means to achieve my ends.
What? Oh yeah, that's the other line that was that was there that I heard our Legion female spies specifically use seduction. Male spies are just they're if they are seductive people, they just go away. They don't become spies. They're disqualified. Zevran, isn't Zevran our Legion? No, he's not. He's not our Legion. He's from another place. But anyway, yeah, everybody does. No, I can speak from my own perspective. Do I do what I need to do? I don't do what I need to do. I'm terrible at doing what I need to do, and so are a lot of people. And that is just. What sort of non-violent means?
Some bards rely on torture to get what they want.
That's violent.
It works effectively, as
That's-
many will bend under the threat of bodily harm.
That is
But there are better ways.
also
more
not
subtle
what
and
torture
kind.
is.
You will be surprised how easily a person will open up to you, even if all you offer is a listening ear. People respond eagerly to others who they believe understand them. They seek approval, friendship, sometimes love. This can be exploited.
Good to know.
It is a game, one that can be won with little bloodshed if one plays well.
Huh. I find it interesting that she's just being honest about it, which is proof in and of itself that she doesn't feel threatened, I think, or our situation is not threat. She doesn't feel that our situation is threatened. Let's say this: you manipulated people, tricked them, which I think is something my character would say.
You must always use the resources available to you, no? Not to
It's-
do so is a waste.
That's what
Everyone can be seduced by the right woman. The trick is predicting who she is and becoming her. Master the game, and no one can resist you.
That's you do realize that there are people who don't fancy women, right? It's really interesting that she just, oh yeah, it's just the right woman can seduce anybody or everyone or anyone rather, because that would be. So how does this help us kill the Darkspawn? I seem to be resisting you. I think that's the line. Just be like, screw you. That's the last line. And would you say you've mastered this game?
If I might be so bold, yes, I was quite good at it. Sometimes, all I had to do was toss a glance and a smile. Men read promises into such things and will go to great lengths to see that promise fulfilled.
They are known to be dumb like that. That's true. Maybe you could smile. Let's say that. I'm sure I'm completely immune to your charms. There's two options. I want to go with the second one. But I don't want to. I want to see if there's any dialogue past this. Maybe you could smile at the blight and tell it to go away.
I could... what? Oh, aren't you funny? I see your point. We will slay this darkspawn using conventional means, pointy sticks and all that. But come, it is getting late and there is much to be done.
That's one discussion. Yeah, that definitely was a discussion for before we had
Well, aren't you sweet?
her romance done. Hiccup. I'm sorry. We need to talk
Of course.
about us.
Wait, you want to talk about us? Is there something bothering you?
No, never mind. Well, I guess that's that. We did it. And also, I'm gonna talk to Ween.
Thank you so much.
Why are you thanking me?
For leading me to Anarin, of course. You led me to Anarin. You persisted, even though I was sure all you were going to find was a dead end.
I'm glad I could help.
I will never be able to repay you for what you've done for me. Finding Anarin allowed me to bring that chapter of my life to a close. I feel free. A great weight has been lifted off my heart. This moment, it feels like the moment before the sunrise, when all the world is still, holding its breath, waiting for first light. I can stop thinking about my past and look forward to the future. Thank you, my friend. You will always have my gratitude.
That's the end of her quest line.
What's on your mind?
Have you changed your mind about Liliana and me?
I have watched you for a time, and
I know.
perhaps I was wrong. There seems to be something special between the two of you. I think she feels she's truly found her place with you. That after all her wanderings, she's finally home.
Okay, Rinasai. Are you trying to apologize for what you said?
I think I was too harsh in my judgment before, and I am sorry.
Apology accepted.
What you have may not last forever. Death and duty may part you, but love's worthiness is not diminished because of that. I should have seen this before. Instead, you learn to cherish every precious moment that you spend together, knowing that it may be the last. And for those of us watching, well, it brings warmth to these old bones to know that something so beautiful can be found in the midst of chaos and strife.
She found it beautiful. You creep.
What's on your mind?
Nothing.
It is no trouble.
Of course. Well, if I have to, I don't know. It's complicated. My reaction to these romances. I thought Liliana's romance was quite a lot better than Morrigan's. At least a lot more involved. Morrigan is a tricky character to. It's a tricky character. She's a tricky character to. It's complicated to sort of not embrace. It's just sort of come to grips with as a character, let alone as a person. But Liliana just had a lot more steps. I think I might have missed some stuff with Morrigan. But yeah, we'll see. Maybe it's gonna continue. The thing about the whole discussion, the thing that sort of lets me down in here is that it's the obsession the game has with the notion of love, and just love. Because from a gameplay perspective, even if you brought them both or three, three. I think there's 3 characters you can have romances with. I'm not sure. Alistair as well, maybe. I don't know. Even if you brought them all together with you and just talked to them all the time and did as much as you could, it still would be so tenuous for even building a relationship, let alone love and deep affection. I feel, anyway. And the way they talk about it is, I don't know. BioWare did one amazing romance. Incredible romance in Jaheira. Well, incredible might be an exaggeration. I feel it is really amazing. I think it's really, really good. And the pacing in particular, specifically in the pacing, the pacing of that romance is amazing. It's a really tricky romance to finish. It's bugged halfway through, and it's weird. And I'm talking about Baldur's Gate 2 specifically. But also in Baldur's Gate 2, you have another romance that is really bad, which is Ares' romance, because it feels like a fling. It's written like a fling. It's just, well, that's that. And she talks about even Ari doesn't talk about love and whatnot. Oh, I think she might use the word, but her affection is less grandiose, and even Jaheira's affection is less grandiose. It's a lot more grounded, and specifically Liliana's affection and the way Wynne treats our relationship. It's like, oh, so beautiful. Just, oh, she's home and whatnot. We're just, I mean, for sure, there's the romance, and it's the end of the romance, and they're in love and whatnot. But it's just like, I don't know, and Morrigan as well. Even, yeah, it's just, I don't know why, but at least it's a lot. Like, this is good romance, I think, for video games anyway. It's a lot better than Neverwinter Nights, the first one, had. Because that one was just out of nowhere. That was ridiculous. I'm sorry, the romance in Neverwinter Nights, it's just, oh my god, it's out of nowhere. But also in Knights of the Old Republic, the original one, because it's the one that's done by BioWare. You can have it is sort of written in a way that allows you to build a relationship with the character. Excuse the hiccup. And I'm talking about one specific romance, the main one, as it were. Because there's another. I think there's a secondary. I think that there might be others as well. I'm not sure. But it's written. It can be like if you make the right choices, the dialogue can flow properly. And I tried to make the right choices here. But when I played Knights of the Old Republic on my Let's Play, I tried to distance myself from that romance because I was trying to test it, and the romance absolutely failed the test to the point where at the end you could still finish the romance, and it just feels so forced and awful, just absolutely awful. I think it felt, but yeah, I think this was really, her romance was really sweet. I liked it. And it's just the only snag is that they're so grandiose about it. Love changes everything, and all that. And I'm like, ugh. BioWare also did a good romance. I remember enjoying one romance in Mass Effect 2, but I don't remember which one it was. Off the top of my head, I think it was Miranda's. But I also know that I did 3 romances there when I played Mass Effect 2, I think. Or maybe I watched a Let's Play or something like that. I'm not sure. But I think there was one romance. It's been a long while. That I felt was really well done and based. I think for video game romance, there's nothing that distinguishes in terms of quality a video game romance from a book romance. There are good video game romances and there are bad video game romances, and just in terms of quality, they can be good and can be bad. And that's just how it is. But in terms of pacing, I think books are just a lot more aware because it's it's a lot more. Writing is a lot more about the pacing than video games necessarily are. So books just have an advantage there. So a bad romance can feel decent and satisfying in a book, but in a video game, if it's not paced well, then it's not gonna go well. It might not, it's just come up. The delivery is gonna suffer. And Liliana's romance was definitely not paced well in my Let's Play, and it still wasn't really affected by that. I think the pacing is just from a gameplay perspective, really. Just the fact that the dialogues are so detached from the companions you have, and there's no continuous building of the relationship with the characters. And in Mass Effect, that doesn't quite happen. They worried a lot more about building the characters in Mass Effect, both the first and the second, to the point where Mass Effect Andromeda, I never played the third Mass Effect, but where Mass Effect Andromeda is very much about building those relationships with the characters, and some of the characters are bad at that. Others are not as much. But yeah, I only watched one Let's Play, and of Mass Effect Andromeda. I mean, so what I mean is they focused on that because they are aware as a company that that's where the companion relationships comes from. It's all about the interaction with them and all that. So that's going to be that. 2 episodes to do that. I'm really glad. Thank you once again, Anna, for telling me about this. I'm really glad I did it because that was really cool. And now we're back over here. We're going to save the queen at the Arl of Denerim's estate, which wasn't the estate of Arl of Denerim before, I'm informed. So, naked people. Yes, we're back to the good old times. Wine, naked people, and our best team over here. Just our best team. Anyway, that's going to be that for today. Thank you so much for watching. This has been... Well, how does my outro go? I don't remember. This has been Dragon Age. It's the beginning. It's all about the beginning of the outro. And once I start, it's oh, that's right. Okay, that's that for today. I'm Colonel RPG. That's right. I start with who I am, because you might be new to the channel, and you forgot who I am. Don't forget who I am. I mean, it's fine if you forget who I am. Don't forget who you are. I don't know where I'm going with this. Anyway, this has been... I was starting it wrong again. I'm Colonel RPG, and this has been Dragon Age Origins. I really hope you've enjoyed it, and I say that all the time, but I do hope all the time, and I know some of you at least enjoy it all the time. So thank you so much for enjoying it. And if you did enjoy it, or if you didn't, I mean, it it's all about, if you want to see the next episode come out sooner rather than later, you leave a like down below, because that's how I judge which Let's Plays get more videos and which ones don't. And they will still all get finished, you know that, but it might take a little bit longer. So leave a like down below if you want to see the next episode come out sooner rather than later. Leave a comment as well. That's always very much appreciated, because I read them. If I don't reply to all of them, but still, I read them all. And I hope I'll see you next episode. Thank you so much for watching. Thank you. I don't know. It's the outro. If I don't do it normally, it just stops midway through, and that's that. Thank you. Bye.